3Cube's feet hurt. A limited edition Adidas are 2 sizes too small for her in order to try and fool the gait tracking software, an old writer's trick. Stretched too far by her ill-fitting feet, she knows the Adidas have split. She feels the Bristol drizzle soak up into her socks. She can hear the drizzle too. Tap, tap, tap on the hood of her storm suit. The suit isn't too small at least. Nah, that's oversized and baggy in the time-honored writer's style. 3Cube waits, the 3 AM drizzle hanging in the air around her. The light from the occasional passing car and the A4 behind catches the raindrops for an instant, giving the whole scene more depth. 3Cube thinks about depth a lot. Depth, perspective, how to force and manipulate both. It's what she's best known for, second to being the best QR code writer in South Bristol. Take the billboard in front of her now, for example. It is meticulous, unblemished. The red and white of its generic Coca-Cola design seems to shimmer under its protective nanogloss. But all around it is chaos, every inch of wall covered in QR codes, some on stickers, some stenciled, until their matrix of barcodes has merged together to produce a disorientating mess of black and white pixels, like an ancient building's prized mosaic floor ripped apart by tectonic shifts. 3Cube resists focusing on any single one, instead seeing them as a single, sprawling mass. She doesn't want to trigger a bombing or throw up, and anyway, she put most of them there. She knows where the QR codes lead, the few that aren't long dead links at least, and she has no interest in her view being filled with flat flyers for club nights and illicit darknets. That's her business, her day job, bombing the streets with digital fly posters, physical links to unreal places, real paint, paper and glue, giving birth to non-existent pixels fleetingly projected onto consenting retinas. But tonight isn't about the day job. Tonight, it's about the art. 3Cube waits, knowing soon the signal will come from Terror, her unseen guardian angel. Unseen and never met, she knows she can trust Terror, that somewhere hidden deep in the damp greyness of Bristol's collapsing architecture, he sits with a cop watch and antisocial behaviour wikis open in front of him, his army of spiders monitoring the data and voice bursts. Between the disgruntled pensioners posting the precise loitering patterns of bored teenagers to the legit wikis, and the dealers and lookouts reporting squad car and UAV movements to the illegal ones, he's putting together a real-time model of police activity across South Bristol. 3Cube trusts him, not just because Terror is one of the best, but also because the unseen hacker was once a writer himself, and understands how unfortunate it would be for one of those occasional passing cars to light the raindrops in alternating blue and red just at the wrong moment. So she waits for Terror's signal before moving. And as she does, she lets her eyes fall onto the billboard's own QR code, a 30cm square black and white grid shimmering under the protective nanogloss. Untouched, unblemished, she focuses on it, double blinks acceptance. The surface of the billboard starts to shimmer and flex. Ripples start to emanate from its center as a huge can of Coke emerges from its surface, ring pull end first. The Chinese cowgirl sat astride it, undoubtedly some vert star 3Cube doesn't recognize, her outfit a focus group assembled mess of Old West Americana and Asian sci-fi lingerie. Stars and brightly lit bubbles fill the air around 3Cube, blocking out the drizzle, or streaks of rainbow light encircle her like a psychedelic lasso. Gently the cowgirl leans forward towards her, her smile simultaneously enchanting yet disturbingly vacant, the stars and bubbles reflected in her deep brown eyes. She reaches out an impossibly long and elegant siren's arm, and with a perfectly tanned hand strokes the side of 3Cube's face so gently that for a second she can almost feel her. Then she rips the specs from her face, and she is gone. There is nothing left except for cold air, the drizzle, and that generic red and white Coca-Cola branding. Just as swiftly, she puts her specs back on, impatient that she might miss Terror's cue. Still, the ad in front of her is passive, the girl trapped behind the wall of nanogloss and Beetlejuice, waiting for her gaze to fall once again on the QR code. She resists and waits. Something chimes behind her left ear, and in the top right of her periphery, an icon appears. Time to move. Terror doesn't tell her how long she's got, but 3Cube knows not to fuck around. In a series of rehearsed moves, her left hand goes into the pack, first grabbing and then unrolling the first stencil. Next out of the cans. It seems like hours, but she's working for less than a minute. With the help of the stencil, a seemingly random mess of software-calculated squares, the Beetlejuice, the only thing Freaky knows of that will actually stick to the nanogloss, starts to obliterate the QR code. As the two colours merge, the Beetlejuice fumes fill her nostrils, even through her face mask. The chemicals burn her sinuses, and she imagines the paint's tiny machines flooding the blood vessels in her nose. The thought of it, even though she knows she's probably overreacting, spins her out to the point of near panic. She momentarily closes her eyes and focuses again. Gently, she peels away the second stencil and allows herself a little smile. The resulting QR code looks perfect. At first glance, it's indistinguishable from the billboard zone, and one glance is all it takes. Freaky makes sure everything's back in her pack and is zipped up tight before rising to her feet again. She steps back and blinks acceptance at the freshly painted mass of black and white pixels. Something buzzes angrily behind her left ear, and in the top right of her periphery, the icon turns red. Time to move.